everybody, it's Jake Moran with Keller Williams, and welcome back. Today, I'm going to save you a ton of money, and possibly even more valuable than money is emotional stress. One of the most stressful things in a real estate process is the home inspection, which happens once the property is under contract during the buyer's due diligence period. Now, the job of the home inspector is to come in and find everything that is not 100% perfect with the house that is being bought. That's their job. Depending on how things went up to that point, during the negotiation process between the two sides involved, this may be the straw that breaks the camel's back. And there are some simple things that you can do to manage the emotional load that comes from the home inspection and save yourself money. It's all about getting money, right? That's why we're selling our house, is we want the top dollar for our house and the smoothest process. And these are some simple things you can do to ensure that happens for you. Number one, your electrical systems. Now, you don't have to be a licensed electrician to do these two simple things. One, check your light bulbs, all of your light bulbs. This includes your kitchen appliances. This includes the spotlights and the exterior lights that are on the outside of your house that you never use. Check all of the light bulbs and everything that has a light switch to make sure all the bulbs are operational, because those kind of things that are on home inspections where there's anything that's not operating properly electrical is going to be on the home inspection, and every home inspector is going to write in their report that they recommend getting a qualified licensed electrician to come make sure everything's working. Now, you and I both know the cost of a light bulb versus the cost of an electrician's trip call, very different numbers, right? Save yourself the money and the emotional stress and the page count on your home inspection by just checking your light bulbs. The second part of that is to pick up one of these. You can get these little devices at any of your local hardware stores, and this just plugs right in to your electrical sockets. This will tell you, it's got a little code on there. It's plain English. It will tell you whether or not everything is hunky-dory, or you've got some things that you may want to have an electrician come look at prior to getting your house under contract. Simple things. It only costs a few dollars, and it saves you hundreds of dollars in the process. And think about when you're getting this on a home inspection, you're already under contract, you're packing, you've got the time crunch, you're in the process of moving. That's the last thing you want to have to do, is to have to deal with something that's simple like that after the fact, when you could do it on your own time beforehand. And the final part of the electrical equation is to check your smoke detectors. So many of us don't ever check our smoke detectors to make sure they're working properly. Small caveat, make sure that someone is not sleeping when you do that. That's a bad way to wake up. And if it's too high for you to reach, get a broom or a handle of some sort that you don't have to get up on a high ladder to be able to push the button to trigger and make sure it's operating properly. Number two, your plumbing. These are super simple. One, make sure all of your sink stoppers and your drains are stopping properly and draining properly. If you have anything that's not operating properly, you can look on YouTube. There are very simple ways of checking those things and correcting those things that will save you a bunch of money from having someone have to come out that's a licensed plumber. The second part of that, in doing that, is making sure that you don't have any signs of water underneath any of the drains or the water lines under any of your plumbing fixtures. This is as simple as just turning the water on, hot and cold, and just holding the lines and making sure there's no moisture whatsoever that you feel in the process of doing that. That's a simple thing that will save, if I could tell you how many hundreds of dollars that would save people in the process of doing home inspections, it's insane. It's so simple, but nobody does it, because who does that on a regular basis? Do it before you get your home sold. The third element of plumbing is just to put eyes on your water heater. Most of us, it's in a closet, it's in the basement, it's somewhere we don't ever go and look at it. Make certain there's no visible signs of rust, there's no signs of water, because the last thing you want to do is have to deal with that in the process of selling your home or moving. That's a bad day for many days to come. So put eyes on your water heater, make sure everything looks good. And if there's any question about a water heater, you can ask a real estate professional or a licensed plumber to give you their opinion as well. The third thing is check your heating and air filters. Depending on how many units you have, you may have more than one HVAC filter, but replace those right before you put your house on the market if you've not recently done so. That will ensure that your home HVAC units are operating at their optimal level, and if your unit hasn't been serviced in a little while, it may be a good idea, again, to call a qualified real estate professional in your area or a HVAC company that you know and trust to come out and do a annual maintenance or servicing on those units to make sure everything is operating at its full capacity when it comes time for the home inspection. So the last thing is almost too easy not to do. Take a walk around your house. Look for things that maybe you haven't seen in a while. Things like possibly holes in your siding that a lawnmower may have contributed to. Leaves that are overflowing the gutters or piled up in a certain area of your roof. Simple things like that are going to be on the home inspection and are really non-issues. So you can address them prior to the home inspection and make sure that you're well aware of anything that may need to be addressed prior to putting your home on the market that you just haven't put eyes on recently. The last part of that is to prune away any greenery from the house. This is one, good for you in just living in the home, because that's a common way for things like mice and squirrels to be able to access the house. But it's also, it gives the home inspector the ability to make certain that there's nothing being covered up by leaves or limbs or shrubs or things like that that are just pushed up against the house. Very, very simple. It takes only a few minutes of your day, and all of these things can save you a ton of money and emotional stress in the process. There is nothing more satisfying in the process of getting a home inspection than to have your real estate agent come back to you and say, "We got the home inspection in, and this is the shortest home inspection I've ever seen." Doing these simple 4 things can result in you getting that kind of statement about your house, which honestly makes you feel pretty good that you've got a great house. But mostly it's because somebody gave you the inside scoop on how to avoid the high page count by doing some simple things in the process. If there's anything I could do to help you out in real estate, if there's any contractors that you need for around the house to get your house ready to sell, and you just don't have good, trusted, reliable contractors to help you out, reach out to me. My information is coming up at the end, and I'll be happy to connect you. Thanks for watching.